Divorce is something I don't really wish happens to anybody, honestly, because you can't go through it and be the same.
Why did you marry her in the first place?
That's a difficult question.
Yeah, because
based on everything you said, it means that you did not want your marriage to end. Like you wish you could have worked things out and stayed.
Yes, and I'm very sure if my ex-wife will be honest, she will agree that before I moved out of the house, I told her that, you know what, forgive me. I've also forgiven you whatever I've accused you of doing. Let's pick the lessons and give it another shot. And I repeated the same thing at the family meeting.
I've had that experience too, and to be honest, I was very happy when my mom decided to leave because it was just too much.
When I met her, her parents were separated.
okay.
So she's coming from a background where she thinks that when things happen, separate.
It's a no for me. I will leave. I will leave the relationship. You can cheat, go and cheat and come. We can talk through it.
I have personally decided to forgive you of anything that I think you've done wrong.
Okay.
And I want you to do same so that we give this, another shot. We give this marriage another shot with all the lessons that we've learned from what has happened. And you told me point blank that she's not ready for that.
Did you see any red flag that maybe you ignored that later in the marriage manifested itself?
I think I saw the red flag when we were planning to get married.
Okay. Okay, so welcome back to another exciting episode of Chat and Chuckles. It's a Friday, and every evening when I come on your screen, we bring you exciting topics and then topical issues that everybody is interested in. This evening is not going to be different, and then today is a special episode. I always use the word special, but today is a special episode because it's the first time we are having a guest among us. So if you can see, we are 4 people here, and today for the first time we are going to give the opportunity to our guest to introduce himself. So Nesta, who are you?
I am Isaac Amoya, an insurance consultant.
Is that all you want us to know?
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
More to come.
Okay, so he's an insurance consultant, as he said. In Ghana, the celebrity insurer, right?
Yes.
If you're talking about insurance, whatever you need to be insured, except relationship, or you can insure relationship too.
With the high demand, we are trying to work a product around it.
Jump for the boys.
Jump for the boys.
If there is demand, then there should be supply. Okay, then that is nice. Yeah, so any type of insurance that you need, any type of, if it's car, if it's home, is whatever has to be insured. If you speak to Amoyo, whenever you talk about insurance, you talk about Amoyo. When you talk about Amoyo, you talk about insurance.
Yeah, no, right. It's good.
Yeah, and you don't need his permission to call him. His number is all over the place. Yeah, so if you need any insurance, if you have a home, you have anything that has to be insured, just give Amoya a call, and then he will help you out. And when it comes to, the accident happens and they are coming for claims. They say he works very fast. I won't lie to you, I haven't experienced him, but from the reviews that I've received and the reviews I've seen on social media and all that, he works out the fastest claims. So if the reviews are there and if the reviews are true, then everything is true. So whatever insurance, speak to Amoyo. But today we are not going to do insurance. We are going to talk about divorce. What comes to mind when you hear divorce? Is it a scary thing?
Yeah, it sounds scary.
How scary does it sound?
I don't think that's when people get married, they plan for divorce or they expect it to happen, because it's like till death do us part. And so what is worse than death that will come between us? It's scary.
Yeah. When you hear about divorce?
When I hear of divorce, first naturally what comes to mind is pain, because the absence of love, what is there? Hatred and people feeling all sorts of emotions and all that. And it goes to affect not just the two people involved. It's a broad scope of people, family, and then maybe their immediate family if they have children or they have friends and who are close to them. Some may may feel that maybe one party may be feeling you are taking sides here, and a plethora of issues can come out of the divorce issue as a whole. So
Yeah.
and divorce is not a pleasant thing to hear.
You are saying divorce is absence of love. Is that the situation?
No,
Is
I
it
mean-
the only? I want to even hear from Amoyo. Is it an absence of love? When you talk about divorce, is it an absence of love that will cause somebody to decide that, okay, in this marriage, I want a divorce?
No, not entirely true. Because sometimes the divorce actually helps to save a life. And if it's not love that is saving a life, what else can it be? So it's not always the absence of love. Sometimes the love demands that there should be a divorce.
Okay. So from what you are saying, can we say that divorce is a good thing?
Not always.
So the situations where divorce is a good thing, what happens for it to be a good thing?
A story just came to mind. There was a story about a Ghanaian pastor in the US or the UK who shot their wife.
I remember that story.
At that point, if they had divorced and there was some, this order that the court gives that don't go near somebody, what do they call it?
Restraining
Restraining
order.
order. At that point in time, that divorce is supposed to be love because it was supposed to save the lady's life. But they had issues. I'm not sure they properly divorced, and the guy was threatening and actually carried out his threats. So at that point in time, the divorce there is supposed to be the love to keep the lady alive.
So if there is a good side to divorce, then why is it all gloomy whenever we talk about divorce, especially from our religious institutions?
Well, it's the conditioning, right? Because like you said, religion. And then religion will tell you that even after a divorce, if you go be with someone else, you are committing adultery. And so it's seen as you've made a lifelong commitment, you made a vow, and you have to stick to that vow no matter what. So even if things are not going well and you want to walk away, it's like you are quitting. You are giving up too easily. Why won't you fight for your marriage? Why won't you make it work? And then in the past, there used to be this thing with women. When a woman gets divorced, she's ostracized by society because she's seen as a failure. And so, when you watch these old movies, they'll tell you that nobody will talk to me if I get a divorce. My family may disown me, that kind of thing. And so, even though we are evolving as a society and times are changing, some of these things are still there. And, religion is not something that you can convince someone to change that. Like your whole life, you've been indoctrinated.
Yeah,
divorce is a bad thing. Right from childhood. Then you finally get married and then things are not going well and then you are thinking about divorce. You even feel like you are committing a sin by entertaining the thoughts. So I think that is just humans not wanting to unlearn certain things that they've been taught and then do what is right for them in the moment. Society, what will society say? What will people say? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You are not far from the truth because I've had argument with people that I've always said that divorce is a good thing because no good marriage ends in divorce. You get it? Mm. Divorce is a good thing because no good marriage will ever end in divorce. So if you're in a marriage that is not working, some people have some measures in place. If I face this and this and this, or unless, like the Bible is saying, unless adultery,
yes,
that should cause divorce. And even that one, you have to see the man on top of the woman before they can leave the marriage. So if you look at
I don't know that part.
That's why the man on top of the woman.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, that part.
We have not heard that before.
I know that Jesus said you can divorce on the grounds of adultery,
but you have to. So
you must have evidence.
The Bible is structured in such a way that you don't have to divorce. So the condition is other than that, somebody will come and tell you, I saw your husband cheating somewhere, and then you rest on that and go and leave the husband. They said, witness it. This one is not even only in the Christianity doctrines. It's even in the Muslim world that if you are accusing a man or anybody of cheating, you should be an eyewitness to it.
For the Islam, a Muslim has said it to me before. That you can only do it if you've seen them doing it.
That's difficult.
Yes,
that is difficult. So that is the point.
Because nobody does that in public or any.
Yeah, that is the point.
Hiding. So,
That is the point. So the Bible itself is making it difficult for you to leave the marriage. So we are here, and at the end of the day, I won't divorce. I haven't seen him cheating. But cheating is also not the worst, or the adultery is not also the worst thing that can happen in a relationship. There are so many worst things. Maybe when the Bible made this thing, they didn't have all these problems that we are going through. You understand? They didn't have it. Men beating their wives, or wives beating their men, even to the situation that somebody will be in the same room with you and for a whole year, no sex, no intimacy, but you say you are married.
But is that thing worse than death?
You say?
Is that a fate worse than death, or
It's
worse
not the
than
fate
cheating?
worse than that, but at the end of the day, if that is somebody's problem. For 1 month, cry when you be in the and who was also, and then you are going. You are going to deny no, and it's different from say you are not even living with a person. You are living with a person, and for a whole year you haven't given it to the person. And even in our laws, you can leave such marriage.
such person, if a month, the whole, so then a year, what happened to him?
Exactly. We try here, no, but not to try. So to me, when it comes to the religious indoctrination, they make it so difficult for anybody to leave a marriage or anybody to quit marriage.
Yes.
And there is a reason to it, because that is what the Bible teaches. You don't have to leave. But when we look at the current dispensation that we are going through, there are so many things that should push a man or a woman to leave marriage. For instance, if it can save a life,
Yes,
that
for
is
that
saving.
one,
The Bible didn't even say it. Say if a man points a gun at you, you should leave the marriage. He didn't say. He said only you can say adultery that can cause. So people are relying on that fact, and then the person is beating you. Obijai. I mean, a time will come, you will stop. The man is not doing, is not paying. The woman is not fencing, fulfilling the conjugal rights or whatever. She will change. And sometimes you hear, say, Bemi, I want anyway, Charlie, when your community offends a property, you've heard it. But when the Bible says,
I heard it, the lady said husband, WHORES. Band. Not
exactly. You see that.
Just everyone is riding him.
The husband.
You've heard. And if you look at the people you've heard this evidence from, it's not easy.
Very convincing.
These were very creative.
But you see, you haven't seen it. You get it. So you have to stick to that marriage. And where I belong to, or where, like you said, you have to unlearn certain things. So I've always had that argument, say, divorce, if the marriage is good, no party will even think about divorce.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, of course.
It's not always about the marriage being good, because I've come to realize people have become more selfish and self-centered. So the marriage can be good, but because of the person's self-interest and how self-centered the person has become, he or she thinks that the marriage is not good. But there's nothing pointing out clearly.
So in these instances, we have to define what is good.
Yeah, so you're trying to say that even though two people are in a marriage, it can be good for one person, but it's not good for the other party.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So
and good is actually relative.
Yeah, so
what's good for someone may not be good for someone as well.
So if the wife, for her withholding the conjugal rights is what is good for her,
but that
she's like,
I don't think
no, for maybe she's at a place where she's not sexual, and so for her she's like, I have a good marriage, my husband is not touching me. And then the man is like, I don't have a good marriage because my wife is not. I mean, that's just an example.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on how long that thing will go on. You get it, for it to get to any individual. So if you are not in a space where you want to be sexual, I mean, for crying out loud, don't let it be like years or months. After a month or two, I know that maybe when women are a bit hormonal during their, time of the month or close enough, a lot of changes happen in their body where they may not want to be touched and all this stuff. But if you deny a man that, or your spouse that, because your reason is I'm not being sexual, for how long are you not going to be sexual? Do you get it? So some of these things you need to weigh in how long you are able to. That's why they call it a bit of.
So Titan,
so I think that's what he's saying. They're selfish.
You are not married. Let me ask you. Yeah, I have to put it out there. Because to be married, to be married is not something easy any man can do. That is why all men are not married. You understand?
Say that again.
Easy, every man. I'm throwing a punchline. If it's easy, if it's easy, everybody will ride it. If it's easy, everybody will ride it. So, to you as a man, at what point, maybe when you get married, at what point or what should happen in your marriage for you to decide that this, I can't stand it, so I'm going to leave the marriage?
I'll not do it again.
Are you talking in the same, relating to the same thing?
No. It's just a different question.
For me, I believe that one of the most paramount things that I would look at is abuse in various forms, and it can drive you nuts. If you are not sane, you can't function as a human being.
Yeah.
And when someone is abusing you, both physically, emotionally, and all that, it affects your whole being, how you perform out there, how you carry yourself about life, and how it even affects the next person, maybe family or even the wife you are with. You know?
Your self-esteem is very damaged.
You can't function as a whole if you are not sane.
Yeah.
So mentally, you have to be up there. And if it's affecting me, I will address it. If I feel that you are not going to change about it, I mean, there are various ways we can look at it. If it's not working, I mean, I need
so
to
for
live a
you,
life.
your deal breaker is abuse. So what about other things?
So that's why I'm saying that one of the paramount ones, it could be cheating as well, you know.
But is it?
So you give me three instances where you will leave marriage.
Okay, abuse first of all, and then cheating, and if you are being dodgy excessively, like you are always lying, you are always, trying to
Dodge your way through.
take me for a fool, you get me? Like playing me here and there, thinking that I don't have a brain of my own to reason things out or maybe see things. I mean, come on, Charlie, I can't be a fool forever, man.
Nayram,
Okay.
at what point would you
Love
decide?
myself so much.
At what point would you decide the marriage is not worth it?
Oh, for me, I always say abuse, like even if it's not in a marriage. Once you show abusive tendencies, you don't even have to take the step. There are things that I see about a person that tells me that this person can't be abusive. It's just that the situation hasn't presented itself yet. So once I start seeing those signs, I start withdrawing. If by chance I don't see it in the relationship, but in the marriage I see it, I will start planning my exit. So
It's not negotiable.
no,
We have some men who abuse you, and then the next day they are on their knees crying, wiping your feet with their
Get you
tears.
gift,
What the
the
devil
best
did
gifts
we
that you
do?
like.
You
Tickets
would
to
negotiate.
Santorini and all that.
You would negotiate.
Nah.
Once he hates.
even if you threaten me, I'm done.
Okay.
So we are not even going to get to the point where you hit me and then come back and cry. No. No.
Oh.
Say no for me. If you are manipulative, like gaslighting me, like
The term has to represent. The term has to
Just
tell.
are watching.
The term has to tell.
yeah, because see, being with a gaslighter can make you feel you are losing your mind.
Yeah.
Something has happened, and then they like, when did this happen? When did I do this? And you're like, am I crazy? Did I make it up?
Yeah.
Like the moment I start feeling this way, it means I'm not safe.
Okay.
So anything that threatens my safety, I'm out.
Okay.
So I think, basically anything you do that makes me feel like, okay, this person doesn't feel safe anymore, I start to withdraw.
Run for your life.
Yeah.
Mine has to do with other safety concerns aside. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to safety, it's supposed to be paramount to every human being. Like even animals, they protect their safety. I've lived with a bird before, and watching a bird, no matter how a bird is hungry, you can't trap it with food, unless it looks around and realize that it's safe before it can eat. The same way with me, when it comes to safety concerns, there is going to be paramount. But when it comes to other things, like what will make me walk out of the marriage, is when my wife or my partner decide to abuse my kids.
Okay.
That thing is and the way I function, I don't get to a situation before I decide. For instance, there are some people who are in a marriage and they don't even have exit plan. They don't even know the things that will make them leave the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
because they think, okay, I'm going into a marriage and that is how it's supposed to be. It's marriage. You don't have to think about it. Thinking about divorce in itself is a sin or it's a bad thing. Before I married, I knew what would make me leave the marriage.
Okay.
And I wouldn't go into the marriage and wait for the things to happen before I decide, should I go or should I not? No. Before I went in, I knew said this and this. And one of the things is, if my partner started abusing my kids, I will leave. Because I have experienced it before when I lived with so many. When you come to my family, my mother's siblings, I lived with everyone. I'm the only child who experienced that, who went through that, because when I was born, my parents were young and they were going through changes and all that. So I have to wait for them. They can travel here, they will leave you behind, and then you have to go and live with an auntie and then they will go. The kind of abuse that I went through, to be honest, I won't allow anybody, or I wouldn't even stand to see somebody going to. So even to date, when somebody posts a video on social media and a child is being beaten or I can't watch it, I'll skip. Or something wrong is happening to somebody, I'll skip, because not that it triggers me, because I know how that person is feeling and I don't want to see somebody go through that. So immediately my partner goes to the extent of abusing my kids, it's a no for me. I will leave. I will leave the relationship. You can cheat, go and cheat and come. We can talk through it. People cheat with reasons. Yeah, there are people cheat with reasons.
We're not having this conversation.
We are not having this conversation.
That are valid and not valid.
Yeah. So if the reason, no, I mean it's a valid statement. Yeah, people cheat with reasons. So if the person will be honest enough and come out to say this and this and this are the reason why, and even without reason, crampono, still it can be remedied. You understand? But when it comes,
all reasons are pardonable.
Every reason, it depends on you, the person experiencing it. It's not that, yeah. If it's not good for you, because there are some people, what was that kind of crowd? Yeah, because why would you come and touch my wife? Or what? There are some people like that. Some people don't want people. My friend, this is my girlfriend. Maybe are going to chicken. No, about that. Sorry. Really? Almost he said, no, don't shake the hands of my girl. You are coming to shake the hands. By the time you realize, you are passing behind to get her number.
Yeah.
You get it. Yeah, so there are some people that you can call it insecurity or whatever it is, but they also have had lived experience before. Maybe that is why they are also doing that. Yeah, so yes, to me, that is the reason why I will leave a marriage of that sort. But you have experienced it before, so I'm not going to ask you what will make you leave.
Because you've left.
You've left before. You've left before. So at what point did you decide that, this is the point for me to leave?
At what point did I decide to leave?
Yeah.
The last straw for me was when I had a letter from my ex-wife from Dovsu that I should exit our matrimonial home because the letter said I'm emotionally abusing her.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was what made me tell even my parents that we were having issues.
Okay. But there were issues before that.
Yes. Yes. And all through that, my parents were not aware that we were having issues because I thought, okay, you can't always be running to your parents that there's a cough in my house, there's a cold in my house, there's someone is sneezing in my house, this kind of stuff. So it was that letter that gave me some form of rude awakening. Rude awakening because when we married, and that's at the time that she brought that letter, we were trying to relocate. We were trying to relocate out of the country. So what really triggered me was like,
we were relocating to another country, like we are traveling out of the country. Okay.
So what really hit me was that, okay, what if this happened and we were in the US and the UK? Like, you're on the next flight to Ghana.
Yeah. If you're a woman, the implications.
Like, you're on the next flight to Ghana. Whatever you were wearing, that's what you are going home with.
I'm wondering, were you emotionally abusing her? Because what will make a woman go to Dosu?
Yes, I was waiting for him to land before maybe that one too. But yeah, if you forgot the question to, maybe you can add it to
I wouldn't say I was emotionally abusing her. No. So, as I said earlier on, at that time, we're having our own issues. and issues were brewing, and we were trying to find solution and meet each other halfway. On the question of me emotionally abusing her, I don't think I was emotionally abusing her, because I remember there was an incident she told one elder and the church that we were attending that I don't talk to. I'm like, I don't talk to you, but you've not spoken to me and I don't mind you. I don't know if that qualifies as emotionally abusing. Because if I'm not talking to you, that means I don't have anything to say to you. But have you spoken to me and I don't mind you?
But can you live with a woman and not have something to tell her? I mean, it should happen for a long time for her to think, say, you are not talking to her. Because if in a day you are not talking, I mean, that is fine. But for somebody to reach the conclusion, say, you are not talking to her, then maybe it might have gone on for a while, right?
I'm not even seeing the person to talk to. By the time I close from work, which is like, I'm home like 6 p.m., the person's not in the house.
Okay.
And I leave before 8.
Okay.
The person closed the night shift at 8.
Okay.
So the person will come and meet my absence.
Okay.
And for me, those things were things that I did not really place much emphasis on, because at that time I knew we were having issues. And we had senior friends who were trying to help us, fix the situation. So it was one of those moments where there's so much tension in the house, but it's not like everything is left ajar, unattended to. People were talking to us. Oh, what's happening? Come to me, let's talk. Oh, what's your problem? What's this kind of stuff? So for me, it was one of those things.
So when the letter came that she made the reference to the fact that you were emotionally abusing her, did you find out from her the things that you did you did to her to mean to her that you are emotionally abusing her? Did you have that conversation?
I remember after the letter, yes, after the letter, I had a conversation with her and told her, like, you know what, for the 2 years that we were together, no one has ever lived somewhere for even up to 3 days. We've all been living in this house. And I can see we are all not happy per what is happening. Yeah. I have personally decided to forgive you of anything that I think you've done wrong.
Okay.
And I want you to do same, so that we give this, another shot. We give this marriage another shot with all the lessons that we've learned from what has happened. And he told me point blank that she's not ready for that, and that I should go and see those people. So I told her to give me the person's number. So because he gave me the letter like 10 p.m. and I was supposed to be there the next day 11 a.m. I'm like, okay, I can't go there. I have other schedule. So let me talk to the person and reschedule. And then she will not give me the number. I said, okay, then tell the person I'm not coming.
So were you arrested?
No, I can't arrest him for that.
No, so you didn't go. I don't know.
I did not go. No one spoke to me about that again.
So from that point on, you decided it was over. So that was the point you
No,
left home.
I did not decide it was over. I just thought that she's having some bad advice somewhere, because it was later that I realized she mentioned that it's her auntie that asked her to go to Dovsu.
She told you that it's her auntie?
She said that at a family meeting.
Oh, okay.
Not me. Yeah. So I moved out, got a place. I remember my senior brother. My senior brother called me and was asking me what's up. So I told her, I've moved out. I'm at a new place. And she said, okay. He said, okay, why don't you call her and tell her you've gotten a place? And honestly, the place I moved to was better than where we were. Okay. So he advised that I call her and tell her that I've gotten a place. She should come and look at the place. Yeah. And those were all the reconciliatory efforts.
Okay.
And I did call her, but she told me she's busy. She can't come.
Okay. But if you are having issues and the issue is not resolved and you had moved out, what will make her come when the issue is not resolved?
So,
or the issues were resolved before you left?
Some of they were not resolved.
Okay.
But before the letter came, we had met somebody. We had met an elder in our church.
Okay.
I had gone to meet. No, she went to meet him, and I later went to meet the elder.
Okay.
And I still have the thing on my phone. I did it deliberately to keep it. So when I met the elder, after all the back and forth, the elder was like, "Okay, now she wants you to move out of the house. So we want you to do that." But I did not pay heed to that, because I thought, honestly, I said to my dad, for lack of a better expression, a foolish idea. Because if you're having issues and you want us to you want me to move out, then you are widening the wound.
Yeah, exactly.
So from that tangent, I decided not to go.
Okay.
And that is when she decided to be living a way that would make the house very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, put fire there.
Put fire there. It may change that.
But if you say a way, what ways would you want to share? Are you willing to share?
I don't mind.
That she was doing.
The marriage is over
that's
anyways.
more like.
Oh, I don't mind. I remember those times. She wouldn't cook as she used to do. She made sure I never meet her in the house because she go for night duties. I remember the fridge we were using was hers. She put it off. So I asked her.
Boy fridge.
So I remember I asked her, what's wrong with the fridge? There's someone is coming to pick it. And so I asked her, how soon is the person coming to pick it? So that
I buy
anyone. So I mean, that's not my concern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But for me, a little background. I've seen my parents go through difficult situations. So in my mind, I knew difficult situations are part of marriage.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I've heard my parents have arguments at dawn. Like arguments at dawn. My mother will come out to come and prepare breakfast and they'll come up, papa. And they will leave like nothing has happened. The next dawn they'll have the argument again. And it goes on for some time. Then someone that they both respect will come to the house, sit them down. They have everybody will present his or her case. I remember those days, my father can tell the person to call me and ask me, I'm the neutral person here, and those kind of stuff. So I knew those difficult moments were part of marriage. And it's just a matter of time that tempers will come down.
Okay.
Because honestly, sometimes you get angry at certain situations. After some time, they ask you, why were you angry? You can't even say why you were angry. Emotions.
Yeah, maybe at that point we were just in a bad place.
Yes.
And something triggered.
So for me, I knew those things were part of the journey. On her part, when I met her, her parents were separated.
Okay.
So she's coming from a background where she thinks that when things happen, separate.
Oh, okay.
But I've never heard my father telling my mother to move out of his house.
Okay.
I've never seen.
Have you heard your mom saying that the
No,
father should move out?
I've never even seen my father refusing to eat my mother's food because they're having an argument, or my mother not cooking because they're having a fight.
Okay.
So where I come from, you can have all your fights, you can have all your arguments, you can have all your disagreements. My mother can come to my room, come in and rant. Not me worried though.
But how old were you?
At that point in time, they just want someone to talk to.
Yeah. I've also been in that
I
situation.
don't think it's a good thing for a parent to put their child in that situation.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I agree with you.
I've had that experience too, and to be honest, I was very happy when my mom decided to leave because it was just too much. The conflict, the chaos, it was too much.
I remember I was sitting with a friend and the mother called. The mother was ranting. I said, leave the marriage. Well, you always complain. So why are you still there? Leave the marriage and then...
They put you right in the middle.
Yes, exactly.
Well, for me, I did not see anything wrong with that. Because maybe...
Yeah, you were definitely young.
Yeah, you were too young.
And then when you come and run to me, I said, say we they may mean to me called Papa and China how to marry because I wasn't coming worry with that.
Exactly.
And I've come to realize that they don't come to talk to you to go and talk to your father, or they don't come to talk to you to maybe try to paint a bad picture or something. Mm-hmm. It's just somebody that they want to run.
Get something off their chest.
Yes. And that is so. And they are still married now.
Okay.
And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, how did you guys do it? Because I've known you go through the difficult parts, and they are still together.
Okay.
Then, but we have a generation whereby we become very sensitive. We become no nonsense.
Yeah.
And it's not a living.
But do you also think that maybe the traveling arrangement and all those kind of things that she was going through, or the two of you were going through, do you think at a certain point she decided that she wanted to do it alone? That was why she was doing all that?
Not to do it alone, but I think she thought she did not get the kind of help she needed from me.
Okay.
Not do it alone. I thought I want to believe that she was not getting the kind of help she was expecting from me. And practically, I remember those days she would do her budget of what she needs. Like she needs to do this, she needs to do that, she needs to do that. And we'll have the sum total of how much she needs. Then she will ask me, oh, why don't you get somebody, you know a lot of people, why don't you get someone to give you a facility so that we can use it for them? I'm like, okay, I'm not really for the facility idea. Why don't we work together and save something for that? because truth be told, you can have the money, but the process may not go through. And if I go for a facility from my friend and the process does not go through, I have that facility to pay, and you are sitting here looking into my face. So I'm not in for the facility thing. But let's have a plan. Every month, bring this amount, I bring this amount. Or we have a duration that we've agreed on. Let's prepare, save towards it. And if we'll just be in our room and be looking at each other's face. But to owe somebody when we've not still achieved what we want to, I think maybe I was not really ready to take a lot of risk at that time. Yeah.
Wow.
But all these
marriage inside.
Was there a child in the situation?
Luckily,
you guys had a child?
Likely no.
Oh, so you might say that not having a child in the midst also helped the process of divorce.
As in, it made it easier. That's what you're saying.
For you to divorce. Because maybe if there was a child in the midst, you would have gone that route
considering the child
because of the child.
Yes.
Let's resolve it.
So, I did not call for the divorce.
Yep.
And I would rather say that if there was a child, it would be more difficult for me.
Okay.
Yeah, because one thing that I keep telling people who are close to me that I'm just praying to God I don't have children with more than one woman. I mean, imagine you are divorced and there's a child involved. Then you, I mean, you have to be speaking to her because the child's welfare is at stake. The child is not well, the child's school fees, the child this, the child that.
Always a connection.
It's always a connection.
You to her always.
Yeah. So it becomes very difficult. So as I said, luckily, no, we do not have a child. And that makes it very easy to go your separate ways. As in, very easy to heal. Not to think that it made it easy to move out. No. Okay. It made it very, very easy to heal from.
But based on everything you said, it means that you did not want your marriage to end. Like you wish you could have worked things out and stayed.
Yes, and I'm very sure if my ex-wife will be honest, she'll agree that before I moved out of the house, I told her that, you know what, forgive me. I've also forgiven you whatever I've accused you of doing. Let's pick the lessons and give it another shot. And I repeated the same thing at the family meeting.
Okay, so how did the divorce affect you? Like, did you have any? As we are saying that, why do we say divorce is a bad thing? And none of us here has experienced it, but you have. Could you tell us something about
how it affected me?
Yeah, the aftermath.
Oh, it has affected me, pa. Because those days, the things that I would just hear someone say and take it raw like that. This one, I don't take it like that. I'll have to watch inside. So more like, and it doesn't help the whole process of meeting and knowing people. Because as a look, you are looking at somebody with some bombastic side eye.
So more like it made you cynical.
What's the meaning of cynical?
Like the way you are saying, you are not so trusting. You don't think that you meet someone, the person is even being their true self, but you are questioning their intentions at every turn because of your experiences.
Yeah, and I don't trust easily like that again.
Okay,
I just watch you and say, okay, let's see how it unfolds.
Okay. Divorce has practically left a crack in your trust.
Most definitely. People. Most definitely.
And more like maybe you were used to living with someone, so like now living out of that, transitioning to another world where you are not living with someone that you've given your heart to for a period of time. Was it that difficult to navigate?
Yes, it's difficult to navigate because a lot of the time before you decide to do this life with somebody, we all have options, a lot of options.
Yep.
And you decide, okay, let me go with this person. And whilst you are dating and all those things, you make plans. Okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. So more like you've made a plan for a journey, and a party in the plan has been taken out. Now, do I go or do I look for a new partner? When if you find a new partner, is the partner ready to go to take their same path?
You have to make a whole
More than overhaul your the life and all those kind of stuff. And as you are doing the changes to your life, life is not waiting for you. Life is going.
Exactly.
So divorce is something I don't really wish happens to anybody, honestly, because you can't go through it and be the same.
Okay.
You can't go through it and be the same. Maybe from day one you did the marriage for a reason. I want to marry.
That was also the point that I was coming to, that, you know, before you understand somebody's end, sometimes you just have to look at it from the beginning.
Yeah.
How you met, and then when you got married. Would you say that the reason, okay, so why did you even marry her in the first place? Let's take it from the beginning. Why did you marry her in the first place?
That's a difficult question.
Yeah, because if you ask me why I married my wife, there is a reason.
Clearly, people marry for reasons. We've come to understand that people marry for various reasons.
Okay.
You know, there are some people, it's just one or two reasons. There's someone is one, some is 4, 5 reasons. You know, so if you want to maybe more like pinpoint certain reasons, it could be 1, 2, 3, or it could be one. Why did you choose to marry that
because
particular
I've spoken
woman?
to somebody who got divorced, and then he made that point. That is the reason why I'm asking you, that the time that he got married, he didn't know the reason why he was getting married. So if you don't know the reason why you are getting married, then every step of the way, you don't even know where you are going.
Yeah.
You're walking there or no.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can't function in a situation whereby the lady is fine. Or then it's not, and if you say, okay, this is my type of woman, they got married. Reason for the marriage itself is not present. So when it gets to that point, it's easy for you to divorce. Because if you don't know where you are going, everywhere is somewhere.
It's a destination.
Like, you know, some people will marry because they want to bear children.
Yeah.
Some people to even marry, but they don't want to have children. Yet some may marry because of support, maybe emotional support or security wise, you know. So decide that you want to have this journey with someone. Why? What are the key indicators?
I
mean, what spoke to you?
After we becoming friends for some time, I loved her.
How long did you stay friends? Before marriage?
Like some 3 to 4, 5 months.
5 months. You go to know her, and then 5 months later, you decided she's the one, or by 5 months later, you had married.
No, I decided to be with her.
to be with her.
You say no, were you there?
I think I understand what he said. So, like, you knew her as friends for five months, right? That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Knew her as friends for 5 before you want to transition into be my woman.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to understand something. So from the time that you dated, did you see any red flag that maybe you ignored that later in the marriage manifested itself?
I think I saw the red flag when we were planning to get married.
Okay.
But I thought it was.
What particular red flag did you notice?
I realized that. She's stubborn. I realized that she's stubborn. As in, stubborn means somebody who makes a decision and follows through with the decision, and that's what I mean by stubborn. Because when we were supposed to have the wedding, my mom was in the US, and she couldn't come as scheduled. So she asked that we give her some 2 Saturdays, like postpone it. But then it wasn't going to cost anything to postpone it because for 2 weeks. I mean, but she wouldn't take it.
Okay.
And as somebody between the to-be wife and the mother, I was more than confused.
Okay.
But did she give you any reasons why she wouldn't oblige to?
No, because we've set the date with the church, and the church is aware of the dates, which at that time I thought was valid, but now I know it's not really, it doesn't make any sense.
So apart from the stubbornness came true during your marriage.
Yeah.
Then what else? Any other thing that you realized was a red flag that you close your mind on it?
What again? I think I saw some bit of lies that I saw the truth later.
Okay.
But you see, when you are in love, there are a lot of things that you pardon.
Exactly. That is the red flag that we ignore.
That's the word. You pardon them.
You pardon.
You see it's all right, but because you love them,
Those things. Then you ask
You are
yourself,
hopeful that things will change.
yeah,
Right?
because,
Exactly.
I mean, really, you guys know who dies out of this? Nobody dies. So
Exactly.
I mean,
This wouldn't kill anybody.
it wouldn't kill anybody. So yeah, you just pardon it. But I was talking to a lady friend the other time, and she said that for her, even if you eat rice and tell you you've eaten bangkok, you've lied.
Oh my God.
If it's something as small as what you ate that you should
can't
not beat you
be-
for, she don't really know you're lying
yeah.
about it. What else can't you lie about? So, and
well,
That's
where's
what-
the lie?
Where's the lie?
I know you agree with this.
No caps. No caps.
another thing that makes it difficult for people after divorce. The last time I was in court, I was waiting for my turn. There was a woman sitting behind me, and she was reading her response. You know, when you file your case, you raise certain issues, and the other person has the right to answer and say, okay, this is true, this is not true. This is actually what happened. She was reading her response, and I was just sitting there, and what she was doing behind me caught my attention. You're like, look, these are lies. So this man can't lie like that. So Charlie, I'm trying to cause people know. So when I picked my response, I look at it and I was like, what is this? So I called my lawyer. My lawyer would not pick me. I called another lawyer friend.
Okay, so let me be inquisitive small. What are some of the things she stated as the reason for the divorce?
No, I petitioned.
You petitioned.
Yes.
Oh, okay, and she responded.
She responded.
So what was her response to the things that you petitioned? Some of it, I mean, not so much into detail, but some that
Which were lies.
Yeah, which were lies.
She said when she's giving me something, she nails down. When she's giving me something, she nails down.
That is a request by you.
Yes.
You're keen.
The king.
And she said, so there's an incident that happened when we're having the issues, when the issues were brewing. For me, as I said earlier on, I come from a home whereby I've seen my mother and my father have difficult situations. So having a difficult situation in marriage, for me, it's normal. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
We can disagree, we can misunderstand each other, I'll see you and I'll find my face and I say I don't talk to you. Those things are normal. They'll die off with time. I remember someone sent me a gift, and she sent me I made someone buy some books from Amazon for me. So when they brought their things, the person added some earpiece, something. But I had received a couple of books, like 4 books and some pens, and I thought, okay, the pens had my name on it. So I thought, okay, let me give the earpiece to my madam. At that time, she was fighting with me, so she was sleeping at the hall. And I was supposed to go somewhere, so I woke up very early, but I was leaving the house before 6. So I just, because she was sleeping there, I picked the thing and put it beside her. Apparently, she was not sleeping.
Oh, okay.
And this thing appeared in the what do you call it?
Response.
In the response, that when I'm giving something, I put it on the floor
For her to pick.
for her to pick. I mean, who does that?
I think when issues of such come out and maybe eventually involving the courts, everybody wants to say something in their defense.
So that is what
So
the lawyer
maybe-
I called told me. Said, this one, forget one of those gimmicks. Like, just ignore it.
But you also you keep saying something that it's bringing my attention to something that, when you look at your parents, they went through this. So I mean, kind of saying going through difficulty in marriage is normal so don't you also think that you thinking those things are normal also affected the way you acted in presence of her, because she hadn't been through that experience that you are thinking is normal. So your normal might even be something that is normal to her. So you thinking, okay, if I don't talk to her, it's in marriage. It's normal in marriage for this thing to happen. If I throw something to her, then it's marriage. So at a certain point we resolve it. So to you it's nothing. But maybe she's also coming from a background where these things are so don't you think your perception of what is normal could have also affected things a little bit?
I 1000% agree with you.
Yeah.
And background has like some strong effects on marriage. Background like has some strong effects on marriage. And you may not know it, you may disagree with me, but there's always some reference points that you unconsciously have about everything. There's always a reference point that you unconsciously have about everything, because you expect that my mother walked out of the marriage because of ABCD. Me, I'll not accept that nonsense. So my parents, Charlie, I saw them go through a difficult time, but divorce was not part of the discussion. So if I'm going through a difficult time. I mean, it's one of those things. Let's just calm down and those kind of stuff. So I think how I saw things, as you said, also, well, maybe I thought, okay, say we are having difficulty. I mean, in the house. If you talk to me, I'll mind you. If you don't talk to me, maybe I'm meeting baby.
Yeah.
I mean, what if I talk to you and you give me some? Am I allowed to say bullshit?
Yeah, bullshit.
You give me some bullshit, which you annoy me. So to avoid those orders, let me not talk to you at all. I mean, I talk to you when I have to talk to you. I mean, when I need to talk to you.
Okay.
So, I mean, and indeed, if, I mean, there's so much love in the atmosphere, everybody's happy in the house. But when there's tension, it'll be happy say, or protecting a small piece of mind, not one of those kind of stuff. So, I mean, the background is, has an effect on.
Yeah, because I was going to.
So would you say that you realized this thing so late? If you had realized this earlier, would you think that probably would have saved your marriage?
Yes.
Or let's say, at what point in time did it dawn on you that maybe you are both from different worlds and the way you perceive things to be is different from hers, and that could be a catalyst in how to deal with the matter was going? Then
I think I realized that when we separated and I decided to file for the divorce. But even when we separated for like almost a year, I was still wearing my band, like my ring. I remember the last family meeting we had. I mean, when we finished talking, at that time, the last family meeting, we had 2 family meetings. The last one, I told them that, I've forgiven her whatever problem I have with her, and I've asked her to forgive me. So I'm ready for us to work on the marriage again. And she said she's not interested again. And I remember my mom was like, okay, I should just give her some time to calm down. Yeah, so I gave her like some 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I started testing her. Oh, where is she? She in the office. I want to take her out. This kind of stuff. I was trying to
be in love with those.
But honestly,
you want to revive what was there.
Trying to revive what was there.
Everything died.
But that was when I remembered something that my mother told me when we were exiting. So when we went for the meeting, my mother understood a bit of Ewe.
Mm-hmm.
So in the course of the conversation, her sister passed the comments in a way my mother picked it.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother said that in a way that they should collapse the thing early so that she goes with her new person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was even coming to that. Do you ever say there was somebody in the picture?
I never thought there was anybody in the picture because I remember
you trying to revive things, and she was like, I want it to be over. I want it to be over. Like her stand is the same, but
Yes.
you were trying to make things work. So I was like, could there be somebody in the picture that she was in a hurry to go and embrace?
Until I had concrete evidence, I did not suspect anything.
Okay.
Because even I remember when I went to meet her uncle asked me if I suspect she's seen someone. I said no, she will never do that.
Okay.
I mean, I was in the uncle's office and I told him she would never do that because the person I know, I did not expect or I did not see any traits in that. So I told the uncle, I don't think so, and I'm not even suspecting her of.
Don't you think you're?
I don't know, but this is giving me, because I feel like the kind of mind you had in the marriage. I'm not trying to say you. No, I cannot. No, I cannot. I'm not trying to say maybe you're responsible or anything, but like everything you said to this point, right, from your parents' marriage and how you were so sure of yourself that you could never go for another man and all that, it's just giving me the impression that at some point you were complacent.
Yeah, complacency can also set in somewhere.
Do you think you were? Because even when the issues were going on and all that, you were not seeing her. You didn't say you tried to do anything about it, except when you received the Dovsu letter. That was when you spoke to your parents, and that was when you started trying to. And then, wounds are, when they fester, it gets to a point that you just have to cut it off. And I think that was where she had gotten to, where she goes like, I have to cut this thing off so that I can
So even if you come back a new person, I don't see your newness.
Yes, because it's like I've seen all the,
Yeah.
you know.
I wouldn't say complacent. I wouldn't say complacent because I remember very well. We in the heat of the difficult times. I do not want to. How do they even call it? I do not want to put. I don't want to. I don't know. Like there's a wound. I don't want to make it bleed.
Okay.
I don't want to make the wound bleed because we're already having the wound. I don't want to make it bleed.
Yeah.
What I wanted was for those who are trying to help us resolve our differences to do their work. And when there's so much tension in the house and I talk to you and you talk to me back in a way that I don't like, that will also bring another issue.
Exactly.
But I can't trust myself to be calm when you are trying to say something that I think will make me uncomfortable.
Okay.
So all that I was trying to do was to just calm down, just be in the house when you have to be. If you have to go to work, you have to just be there, but not trying to push my way through the resolution period.
Okay. Do you think that if you guys had tried couple counseling, it would have helped? I'm asking because mostly when we get stories and couples are having like issues and it looks like the two of them are having difficulty resolving it, they suggest that they go to couple counseling. And then I'm wondering if that helps. Do you think it would have helped?
I remember in the very early stages of the issues, we met her pastor and the wife.
Okay.
And from my experience, we give a lot of empty-headed people credit in this country.
Okay.
Wow.
In the thinking they are counselors or they are elders or they are pastors or they are whatsoever.
Like they
Because
have the
if
hands-on.
I'm having issues with my wife and we come before you and you tell me you have a good wife, don't let her go. If you let her go, God will ask you. That's total rubbish.
That's what the pastor said.
Yes.
Somebody who's supposed to counsel you too. He's taking
that's
side.
total rubbish.
Okay.
So it was a wife who said, "Oh, I think you people are having miscommunication and misunderstanding issues. So if you can try to understand each other, that should help." Because when two people are having issues, the wackest thing to do is to take sides.
That is what I'm also thinking.
The wackest thing to do is to make somebody feel like, Charlie, this one day your advantage to have this person.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got what I'm saying.
Said they are
I
moving
get
to
it.
four
So
boys.
now
And
it's like
for-
you're justified in everything you're doing. He's lucky to have me.
Yes, so whatever rubbish you can put on the table.
Yes.
Is
Yes,
that
I'm
take
the
it or leave it.
prize. Yes.
And for an elder to suggest that, okay,
Looking at the processes, all the things that you have to go through till the marriage was finally, was it annulled? What is the term?
I mean, dissolved.
Dissolved. Yeah. What was the most difficult part for you? Knowing that, I mean, after this step, everything comes to an end. What was the most difficult part for you?
I think the most difficult part is when the other party tries to paint you black. I mean, say all sort of things about you to perhaps to make her feel good or something. Because there's something I always tell people who ask me what happened. I just say, oh, we had a regular marriage issues we could not resolve, and that ends it for me. I've heard incidents where someone tells me, I mean, she's telling people, I have a child I did not declare before the marriage.
You had a child and you did not declare.
Yes. So apparently she told a friend, a very close friend, this, and the friend said, there's no way Isaac can have a child I don't know. And the friend never told me until quite recently that I heard the incident, I heard somewhere, and so ABCD, this is what I heard the last year. And I said, oh, make a catch me. But make a say myself, this one is not true. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? So, I mean, I know it's not true. So, what was the sense in, I mean, telling you this kind of stuff? And, yeah, I think the lying parts and trying to paint the person black and saying all sort of things about a person. And the court process is something else. Well, maybe because when I filed a petition somewhere in 2021 September, somewhere around 2021 September, or somewhere around that. I need to check. And I got a divorce done on 12 April 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
It took that long?
Yeah, it took that long. I think because she did not respond.
Okay.
And I was doing everything alone. But it got to a time that someone told me that a lady told me that she's seen her husband, blah, 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 blah. Then later the lady came to tell me that she's had a baby for the husband. Then, so I think whatever happens, the said husband tells the wife.
Okay.
Whatever happens between them, the said husband tells the wife, and the wife comes to so the wife advised that if she's not responding to the petition, I should talk to the husband. So I tested the husband and shook him small. That was last year. I told him that I'm giving him up to December. If she doesn't respond, I'm coming after him because we are just separated. We are not divorced.
Okay.
And you have had a baby with her.
But are they married?
As in the
one she had a baby with.
This baby with is my ex-wife.
Yeah, okay.
But the guy is a married guy. So it's his wife who advised that I talked to the guy.
Okay.
So I tested him and threatened him some more. That I'm giving up to December. That was last year. But if by close of December she doesn't come to respond and make appearance in courts, I'm coming after him.
Okay.
So I think just like as we are talking on there, madam started testing me. Why did I tell the guy we are not divorced? Then. So the guy just makes me understand that she told him that we are divorced. So I think after that, she came to she got a lawyer to come respond, and within some few months, we got it done.
Okay, so knowing this, this is where we bring the session to an end. We want to bring it at the point where the marriage ended, so that this session will also end.
That's so poetic.
Divorce can be really messy.
I'm telling you.
I saw you,
can
bro.
be very messy. That is why I understand the Bible when it wants to, prevent people from going through it. But it gets to a point. It's a choice.
Yeah.
It gets to a point.
Well, sometimes it's not a choice. It's something that you have.
It's an option. It's something available because,
the only way out.
Yes, the causes of divorce is marriage.
Yes,
you understand. Yeah, this guy cannot divorce.
But he's not married.
He's not married.
But listening to experiences like this informs you that you need to be very careful when you are choosing a partner.
Yeah.
So that you don't.
Truth of the matter is that you can't be too careful.
Exactly.
That is true also.
You can't. But
I feel sometimes you can avoid certain problems.
That is in retrospect, don't you think?
He hasn't been there before.
When it's happening at the time, you don't know that.
You don't know that if you had done this,
yes,
you wouldn't have gotten to this.
You are making the choices you make because of.
My point is, why I'm saying that is because maybe in the initial stage you're getting to know whoever, you were not paying very close attention to certain things that were happening. That's why I'm saying that although you may not be too careful, there are certain things now you have the foresight to now see that I need to look at this.
So the truth of the matter is that no matter how careful you are, there's always that point that you are deciding between divorce and continuing the marriage. You always get to that point.
Being too careful can land you in problem.
Yes, because being it's you question everything. You become frustrating to be with.
Bleeding on people you didn't.
Yes. And the thing is that we are humans.
In as much as there may be situations of such nature, I still believe that as an individual, make sure you are told that the best or maybe the most important decision you can make in life as a person.
Yes, marriage.
The person you spend your life with, as in you're choosing your partner.
Okay.
That being said, I believe that every individual who is not married yet, like myself, should move forward with this information in mind and pay attention. You cannot say that because I mean, even paying attention can land you to problems.
No,
you
like-
should not pay very close attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
There
Yes.
are ways of analyzing issue that may give you, a bigger picture, So that's why I'm saying that if you do it well, you may or may not make bigger mistakes that may cost you as much. Yeah,
It's
that's
possible, but you also know that people change
Yeah,
at
that
some
is-
point.
that is the whole
and there are some
aspect of
changes you can
marriage.
live with.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
people change.
adjust to at the same time. So don't walk into something being, very blind. That's my point.
I listen to single people,
Ayo.
and sometimes how the information they've consumed on
Marriage.
silent beats scare them about marriage. Hey, in the media, well, I just want to have a child. I don't want to marry. I've divorced. I want to marry again.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, interesting.
You can't use somebody's relationship as
That's
a
the
yardstick.
point.
Exactly. Yours may be different. Completely
may be
different.
Very, very
and yours
different.
may be worse too. I mean,
That's the way.
Don't
I was about to say that it could be worse.
yeah, yours will be worse.
Yes.
Scary.
So, yeah, the whole enterprise is
See,
scary because
it's a
you are
human
going to-
thing.
You need grace.
You are going
You
to
need
bring
grace.
somebody
Yes.
to your kind of saying to
your
your
abode.
home.
Yes.
Share a lot of things with the person and the changes that will result.
You need grace.
Somebody can just say something into the ears of that person,
And it changes everything.
and
Yeah.
everything has changed.
Yeah.
And it will never be the same again.
Yeah.
Your mind will wipe.
If you
Memory
were
format.
if we were marrying a robot, maybe that's when you
Yeah,
are sure.
yeah.
You know, but
The programming can
Program
get
will
corrupt.
be to me, corrupt. Anyway, this is where we
It's
bring
not easy.
the discussion to a close. It's been Chat and Chuckles, and today being the first time we're having a guest on our show, and he is Isaac Amoya, our insurance consultant. So if you have any insurance issue that you want it resolved, kindly call him. We'll put his number down here, or here. Yeah, so you can call him and then you get your insurance issues resolved. Thank you so much for being with us until we meet another time or until we meet next week.
Chat and Chuckles.
Yeah, it's been Chat and Chuckles. Kindly send your comments and everything in the comment section and follow us on all our social media handles. And if you're watching this on YouTube, kindly subscribe because, how can you come this far without subscribing? Yeah, kindly do that for us and then it will help us to grow. Thank you so much. It's a wrap.